Well, hello there, collective. How is everybody today? Today is Tuesday, the 5th of August, 2025. All right, so we have a reading today. I'm going to start with the tarot, and we're going to go ahead and we'll look down here at the runes. And then, of course, then we'll come on up here to our oracle cards, see what's going on. All right, so the heart of the reading, we pulled the King of Pentacles. This is what the reading is all about. And this is basically telling us that it's talking about achieving success of our long-term goals. Whatever those goals are for you personally, it looks like we are going to achieve them. Wealth, prosperity, dedication, and stability basically are what the overall gist for this reading is about. Now, the crossing, or basically that which is in either an opposition or secondary known, was the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, in this case, is basically a second known. It's telling us a rational and honest person is on the way. Someone who's truthful, intelligent, realistic, and objective. Okay? And critical, if necessary. I got further clarity by pulling the Star card out. So this person may be somebody who's well known. Maybe somebody with a lot of power or something of that nature. So it could be somebody online that's coming in to help. It could be, somebody who's actually popular somehow, some way. Whether it's some kind of a talent that they possess, but people know of them. Okay? So we're looking for a positive outlook for our future here. So we have a helpmate that's either already present in your life or there's coming in to help us to meet this goal. Now, in the unknown position, I have the King of Cups. The King of Cups talks about rationality and emotions being in place, feeling calm, faithful, friendly, mature, wise, and caring. Now, this person is going to be the one that gives us judgment. Okay? Now, time for truth to come forward. The things that have been hidden from us for far too long are about to be made manifest, is what this is telling us. And this King of Cups is going to be the one that brings that forward for us. Okay? Whoever that turns out to be in your life. Could be somebody basically in some type of authority, law enforcement or something of that nature. Okay? King of Cups is usually somebody that's very loving and calm and things of that nature. So whoever it is, they're going to have that type of a personality. Now, up here in our past position, I got the Strength card, and that kind of tripped me up a little bit. But it says, possessing the inner strength to succeed, courage, self-empowerment, willpower, confidence, and love. So, in our past, we possessed this power. We were going all out. We had all the energy and all the courage to do so. And basically, it tells me by getting some clarity in that was a fool's journey, which means the start of something new, partaking in something new. Like for me, for example, this website is brand new. So this may be what they're referring to in my case. You'll have to do, of course, your own introspection to see exactly how this applies to you. Now, not everything, of course, is going to apply to everybody. Some of the things will apply to some of you. Perhaps the whole reading can apply to all of you. You have to use your own discernment for that, okay? But if you've embarked in some type of a new journey recently, and you have been waiting for the fruits of your labor to be manifest, and you're looking for some justice for something that has happened in your life, some great wrong that's been done to you, then this reading is definitely for you, okay? Now, up here for their known position, we have the King of Swords. A lot of, court cards here. All the kings are being shown. So it says, manifesting rational thinking, structured, logical authority, self-discipline, and objectivity. And for clarity, I got the Sun. And that tells us that everything is going to go well. It's the brightest card in the deck. It's the most positive card in the deck. So that's in our known position. We know we are going to succeed. We know that we are going to be vindicated. We know we are going to win whatever legal battles we may have. That's what that's telling us. Now for the future, and again, this threw me for a loop, we got some confrontational cards. Lots of wands, lots of fire here. This one is the 5 of Wands in the present, or actually for the future position. And it talks about the presence of conflict and competition, friction, chaos, rivalry, and disagreements. So this is going to be definitely something that we're going to have to fight to achieve. It's not going to be simply handed to us, okay? And that's further echoed with the clarification of the 10 of Wands. Spreading yourself out too thin, feeling overwhelmed and overburdened, sense of stress, and feeling a great deal of responsibility. Now, I didn't stop there. I got further clarity, and I pulled out the Hierophant. So this stress, this authority is coming from a higher court, perhaps. This could also talks about some form of a religious institution. It's generally associated with that. But it's conformity to society's rules and morality, tradition, groupthink, religion, institutions. So it could be a court of law we're talking about here, because we do have the Justice card was at the bottom of the deck. So we are going to get justice and vindication, and it is going to come after a struggle, it looks like. Okay, so that's probably what this is indicating. I pulled out one more card for clarity, and I got the 7 of Wands. That's a lot of wands, guys. So confrontation may arise, defending yourself, fighting for your goals, persevering, and standing your ground. Do not let these karmics push you around and tell you the way that it's going to go down, okay? Stand on your own 2 feet. If you're going to court, even if you are all by yourself and you are fighting a whole group of other people, trust me, if you are confident in yourself, you know you've done no wrong, you're being set up or whatever the case may be, and that's pretty extreme. That is the case for me. It may be the case for somebody else out there. If you're being set up and they have people paid off and everything else, I assure you, stick to your guns. You are going to win. We see that echoed in every one of our tarot readings that we've had over the last 2 months, as well as every rune pull I have done. So be certain, no matter how hard this is, and it's not going to be easy, I can assure you, we get a lot of clarity on that as well. We are going to win. Now, how we see ourselves, how the collective sees themselves, is the King of Wands. Basically, somebody who utilizes leadership to manifest their goals. That's good. That's exactly where you should be. Social dominance, open-mindedness, resilience, and a sense of authority. And that's exactly the kind of attributes you need when you're talking about, living your own life. Don't let anybody else tell you how to live it. Now, as far as how the collective sees you, we have the Chariot. And that's basically meaning that a change is coming. Use focus, willpower, success, and of course, being that it's a Chariot, it may also indicate travel being necessary, okay? Now, for our guidance, we got a pretty straightforward card, another major arcana card, the Temperance. It talks about needing inner balance, okay? Actually, it's talking about your inner balance being achieved. So if you're not there yet, keep going in, start praying, start meditating, find that inner peace. You're going to need that in this victory. Patience, a sense of calm, harmony, and self-restraint are all necessary in this. Remember, before we pass this test so that we can move to the next cycle, we're going to be tested, and it's going to be a brutal test for some of us, okay? So they're going to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at us. The devil's waiting at that door. He doesn't want us to pass. Now, for the overall outcome, I got the 2 of Pentacles. This means, again, finding your balance and harmony. Prioritization, time management, and multitasking are necessary. For clarity, I got the 9 of Pentacles. This is what's waiting for you. If you're single, the 9 of Pentacles is typically the most you're going to get, okay? And it means a period of prosperity, financial freedom and success, wealth, and reaching your goals, as well as family, joy, and contentment. Very, very good outcome. And again, at the bottom of the deck was justice. We are going to get our justice, collective. All right, now let's look at our runes and see how they more or less coincide. Now, as far as our past runes that we had, this one was for Sunday, this one was for yesterday. Okay, so the Sunday rune was Algiz. Now, Algiz in the upright, as it is, stands for basically friendship, the soul, optimism and aspirations, fortune, protection, shielding, protective urge to shelter oneself or others, a sense of defense. It's used in magic for warding off of evil. It's talking about connection with the gods. That's something we need. It talks about awakening, the higher life, intuition, and again, success. All right. Now for yesterday's rune, we pulled Lagus. Now Lagus in the reverse, as it is here, gives us something of a negative connotation. It talks about temptations and greed. It talks about against one's conscience, a period of confusion, wrong decisions being made, poor judgment, lack of creativity, feeling in a rut, maybe somewhat fearful. Talks about avoidance, sense of withering away, madness, obsession, despair, perversity, sickness, and suicide. Okay, I don't think that is actually relating to the collective. I think that is our opponent. That's the ones that we're going to be fighting against in this battle, whoever they are, whether you know this or not. All right, now, as far as the overall energy for today, the pre-Tuesday pull, we got Dagaz. Now, we pulled this on Sunday, okay? Dagaz is God, I can't even speak sometimes. It talks about the dawn or the day, brightness of the day versus nighttime obscurity. So it talks about clarity. It talks about breakthroughs and growth, ambition. It talks about, a plan to enter into some type of enterprise, some new endeavor. It talks about the power of the will to change, okay? It also speaks of hope and happiness, sense of security, certainty, growth. It talks about balance. We see that word echoed in many of these today. It talks about the place where opposites meet. And again, that's what the yin and yang refers to, basically. Equal dark and light, if you will. And in all darkness, there's a little light. In all light, there's a little darkness. We all have both, okay? We need to find that balance point. Now, what we pulled today for the present was Ewaz in the reverse. Now, unlike many of the reversed runes, this one is not so bad. It does refer to long journeys. And for some of us, this last cycle has been 10 or more years. It's been a very, very long haul. For some of us, it's been an entire lifetime, okay? But we're getting close to the end of this cycle finally. So it talks about sudden changes, a sense of timing. Change is craved at this time. Feeling restless and maybe even confined. It also talks about a sense of mistrust, disharmony, and even betrayal. And again, that's talking about, the people that were coming in opposition. Now, what are some of the influences? We look over here to the left, and I got Algiz, but this time Algiz is not in the upright like we got for Sunday. It's in the reverse, and it means something quite different in the reverse. It means to be used by others, to be misled, to be vulnerable, some type of hidden danger, taboos, warnings, consumption by divine forces. This is why I believe these influences are coming from our karmic, opponents. This is also the loss of the divine link. That's not going to be anybody in my collective. And it means a turning away or that which repels. If you are suffering or fighting against people who are actually delving into the dark arts, who have literally sold their souls to the devil just for a mess of pottage, kind of like Esau, that story and everything else, for a meal or whatever, he sold his birthright. Well, that's what these people have done as well. So that's who we are up against. The other influence that we got was Thor's rune, Thurisaz. Now this talks about protection in particular, as Thor is the great protector of Asgard. It talks about luck as well, gives us a sense of counsel. That's what you're getting now. It also gives us advanced warnings. It talks about the reactive force or directive force of destruction or defense. Again, this is one of the most powerful runes in the deck. So whatever Thor puts his will to, you can rest assured that's going to happen. And you have to think the same way. This is the instinctual will to overcome. It also talks about vital eroticism, male sexuality and fertility, regeneration and change. It's a very positive rune in the upright. Now, as far as the overall weekly energy goes, as a reminder, we got Wunyo in the upright. Now, Wunyo in the upright, again, is a very good rune. It talks about harmony and joy. It talks about blessings and affection, desire, glory, ecstasy, pleasure. It talks about fellowship and success. We see that word success echoed multiple times in this reading. Prosperity as well, spiritual rewards and recognition. We see that echoed yet again in today's future pull with Iwaz. Iwaz, what we see here in the upright, stands for the death and rebirth, the end and the rebirth of a new cycle, the successful completion of that cycle. It also talks about quests and conflicts. It talks about, again, success, strength, reliability and dependability, trustworthiness. It talks about somebody who can be trusted and relied upon. It talks about enlightenment. It talks about motivation and a sense of purpose and having your sights set upon an achievable goal. So what we have here is basically echoing what we see up here in the tarot, in that we are going to be tried. There are negative influences about, and we are going to have to work at this. But we do have success at the end and justice coming our way. Now, as far as an animal card goes, for the animal totem, I pulled a personal choice. So whatever animal, when you close your eyes, that comes to your mind is your spirit animal for today. And all the magic that they hold as well comes with that. Today is the viewer's choice. Okay? Now, as far as love cards go, I pulled out Girl Talk and Separation. Now, Girl Talk talks about a time with your friends, moving on, feeling happy and single, living in the moment and having fun. Now, of course, if you're happily married or happily involved in a situation, a love situation, this doesn't apply to you. This only applies to those single people out there or those who are recently single, okay? Now, the separation card talks about sense of sadness. We always feel sad when we've lost somebody that we've been with or loved at one time. Somebody is missing you, so this is how somebody's obviously feeling about you. They're thinking about you, in fact, and yearning. They're unsure about the future, okay? Now, as far as, truth cards were concerned, I pulled out, you don't know how hard it was to let you go, and I lost myself for a little while, okay? So whoever it was that came to your mind as I was reading these cards, or you were viewing them on this particular reading, that's who it was. Okay? And again, all of this may not be for everybody that's out there. I can almost rest assured that it can't be exactly for everybody out there. But there are definitely elements here for everybody who's watching. If you've been drawn here to watch this for whatever reason, there is something here for you. And there may be the entire reading that's relevant for you. Okay? The energy has been very, very cohesive in terms of all the different forms of divination I'm utilizing here. And this is why I've chosen to go this route. This is why I actually pull runes in the old-fashioned Nordic way. I also pull tarot in the more modern way. Okay? And I used the oracle cards to give us a little bit more insight into what's happening as well. And I hope this will help you to understand your particular situation, and that although we still have an uphill battle in front of us, that the end of this cycle draws nigh. We're very close, and you have everything already guaranteed to you in terms of victory. You just have to stand 10 toes down. It's not going to be an easy fight, and the devil is not going to give up without a fight. Rest assured, okay? All right, so as always, you guys, I wish you guys the utmost victory, of course, and success, and I will see you far, far in the future in Valhalla. I've had people already trying to kill me. I'm still here, so I've been through 2 wars to boot. I'm going to be here until the Lord says otherwise. So I pray the same for each and every one of you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.